A lot of creators ask, should I use ChatGPT or Gemini? But honestly, I don't think you need to choose only one. For content creation, I like to think of ChatGPT and Gemini as a tag team. One is great for creative ideas, hooks, and scripts. The other is great for research, fresh information, and finding what people are already talking about. So in this video, I'll show you a simple power user workflow, how to use Gemini for discovery and ChatGPT for polishing and creating better content. The internet makes it feel like we have to pick a side, Team ChatGPT or Team Gemini. But for creators, that can be a mistake. ChatGPT and Gemini are not the same tool. They can help with different parts of your content process. ChatGPT is usually stronger for creative planning, storytelling, hooks, and scripts. Gemini is usually stronger when you need search-aware research, trend ideas, and current information. So instead of asking, which one is better, a better question is, which one should I use for this step? First, let's talk about ChatGPT. I like to use ChatGPT as my creative storyteller. This is where I go when I need help turning a basic idea into something more interesting. For example, ChatGPT can help with YouTube scripts, social media hooks, email ideas, blog outlines, and different story angles. It is also helpful when you want your content to sound more natural, more emotional, or more on brand. One of ChatGPT's biggest strengths is idea expansion. You can start with one simple idea and then ask ChatGPT to turn it into many different formats. For example, one short idea can become a YouTube video script, a newsletter, a LinkedIn post, or a social media thread. This is very useful if you create content for more than one platform. Instead of starting from zero every time, you can build one strong idea and repurpose it in different ways. Now let's talk about Gemini. I like to use Gemini as a deep research analyst. Gemini is helpful when I want fresh information, current topics, or research-heavy ideas. Since Gemini is connected with Google's ecosystem and has deep research features, it can be useful for finding trends, checking recent information, and organizing research into helpful points. So, when I don't know what topic to create next, Gemini can help me discover what is happening right now. Another reason Gemini is useful is its ability to work with large amounts of information. For example, you can use it to analyze long reports, big documents, transcripts, or research materials. Google says Gemini Pro can work with a long context window of 1 million tokens, which makes it helpful for large files and longer research tasks. So, if you have a big report, a long YouTube transcript, or many notes, Gemini can help you pull out useful ideas. Here is a simple way to compare them. For creative depth, storytelling, and brand voice, I usually prefer ChatGPT. For real-time context, research, and large materials, Gemini is often very useful. For content structure, both can help, but I like using Gemini first for research and then ChatGPT for shaping the final content. So again, it is not really about which tool wins. It is about using the right tool at the right time. This is the easiest way to remember it. Use ChatGPT, the Red Creative Engine, for things like viral hooks, YouTube strategy, LinkedIn posts, newsletters, repurposing, and brand voice. Use Gemini, the Blue Analytical Engine, for trend-based blog ideas, current event content, research-heavy topics, and brainstorming with live web context. So if I need ideas based on what is happening now, I start with Gemini. But if I need to make the idea sound more human, clear, and engaging, I move to ChatGPT. The winning move is not choosing one champion. The winning move is building a tag team. This is where your workflow becomes much stronger. Gemini helps you find the facts, trends, and research. ChatGPT helps you turn those ideas into content that people actually want to watch, read, or save. That combination is powerful for creators. I call this the power couple workflow. First, Gemini becomes the discovery engine. It helps gather the information, trends, search topics, and content gaps. Then, ChatGPT becomes the polish engine. It helps turn that research into hooks, scripts, outlines, captions, and full content plans. So you are not just creating random content. You are creating content that is both helpful and interesting. Phase 1 starts with Gemini. In this step, I would ask Gemini something like, find the latest undercovered trends in my niche. Look for topics that content creators are starting to care about, but not everyone is talking about yet. You can also ask it to organize the ideas into content pillars. For example, If your niche is AI tools for creators, Gemini might help you find topics about AI voice tools, AI video tools, AI image tools, or prompt writing. The goal here is simple: find fresh ideas. After Gemini gives you the research, don't stop there. This is where you hand the ideas to ChatGPT. You can copy the best points from Gemini and paste them into ChatGPT. Then you can ask ChatGPT, turn these ideas into 10 YouTube video hooks, 5 beginner-friendly video titles, and a simple script outline for each topic. This is the handoff step. Gemini gives you the raw material. ChatGPT helps shape it into real content. Phase 2 is the polish step. This is where ChatGPT can help make the idea more clear, more emotional, and easier for your audience to understand. You can ask ChatGPT to make the hook stronger, make the script more beginner-friendly, or make the content sound more like your brand voice. For example, you can say, make this script sound warm, simple, and natural for beginner creators. That is where ChatGPT becomes very helpful for content creators. So the full pipeline looks like this. Gear 1 is Gemini. Use it for trend discovery, research, current information, and large documents. Then use a handoff prompt. Move the best research into ChatGPT. Gear 2 is ChatGPT. Use it for hooks, storytelling, scripting, emotional angle, and repurposing. Then you deploy the content to YouTube, your blog, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, or wherever you create. So here is the simple takeaway. Don't treat ChatGPT and Gemini like enemies. Treat them like two different helpers in your creator workflow. Use Gemini when you need fresh research and current ideas. Use ChatGPT when you need better hooks, scripts, storytelling, and repurposed content. When you combine both, your content can be more useful, more timely, and more engaging. And before you go, if this helps you, please like this video, subscribe to YaYa Creator Hub, and leave a comment below. And tell me, do you use ChatGPT, Gemini, or both? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.